I just like heard this like slow moaning and I was like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. I don't think she sleep talks. Like, I'm not sure what's happening. Moreover, she's gone and the toilet just keeps flushing over and over again.
Yeah.
She finally comes out and I'm like, we good? Like,
no, we're not. We're not good
in there. And she's like, I am pretty sure I'm struggling for my life right now.
Grab a coffee.
Take a breath.
You've just clocked into the ER edit.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Carly.
You are now clocked in.
Welcome, everybody.
We are so thankful you guys are here. Honestly, this is so fun.
We were a little worried nobody was going to come, which would have been fine too.
We still would have done it because we needed to record anyway. We always had a plan to record on the boat. And so we were approached yesterday and they were like, do you want to do it in the Celebrity Theater? And we said yes immediately and then went back to the room and we're like,
what did we do?
I think we have regret. You know what I mean? But it's worked out. We're really excited that you guys are here.
Yes, thank you for coming. And you guys might be like, who are you guys?
Yeah.
What is this? Why are you here? And we feel the same way. This is our first time to NurseCon. We are nurses. I'm Carly. I've been an ER nurse. Recently, I retired to the PACU. And my background is in ER. That's where we met.
Yep.
And I've been a nurse for 15 years.
Yeah. I'm Caitlin. I'm an ER nurse. I went straight to the ER out of nursing school and I have never looked back. I've been doing it for 13 years, and I don't see myself retiring anytime soon because I just have too good of a schedule. You know what I mean? Once you get that sweet spot, it's like, oh, how do you leave? But that's us. We met in the ER, and essentially became friends throughout that. And then I decided to start dabbling in social media just a little bit for fun without like a care in the world. It felt like a good spot to be just myself and like super raw and real. And then it kind of took off. And then Carly asked me what the hell I was doing on social media because she saw a video because I hadn't told a singular person at work that I did.
She kept it a secret for like 2 years. And then finally I was like, what is this? Like I saw you like doing couch for an ad, like a couch advertisement. So then I started asking questions. We started making videos together here and there. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of our videos, but we started making these med error videos and we've originally started reading like Reddit threads. Mm-hmm. And they're like obviously very shocking medication errors. And it took off. And then we started getting like flooded with like DMs like, oh, I've heard of this or this happened at my hospital or I did this or whatnot. So then we kind of made it into a series and so on and so forth with the videos. And then people started being like, you guys should make a podcast. And
we said,
when we're not at work, we are moms. We both have 2 kids, like, and we're kind of like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And then we're like, well, could we? And so then we started the process and we actually launched our podcast last month.
Yeah.
It's been so fun.
And it's been doing really good. So we are so thankful you're here, but we want to give you a little taste of like what we do normally. So we are literally going to take it back to the OG days of what we did on TikTok. And we're going to go through some med errors right now. So I pulled some up on Reddit.
First we want to know what department everyone works in.
That's true. We do want to know where you guys are from.
And we kind of talked a little bit, but we want to know, like, show of hands, do we have any ER nurses in here? Oh,
I know we have 2 right there.
Lots of ER nurses.
Okay, a lot. Okay.
ICU?
Yeah. Yes.
ICU. Okay. ICU. Okay.
Do you hate us? Do you hate when we give you a report?
No, it's usually very fast.
Okay.
Very quick report.
But is it okay?
So you do hate it.
Okay, so I don't have much to compare to right now.
Okay, we love you. We love you. Okay, L&D. We have a couple that I haven't mentioned. What do you work? What's your department? Were you ER?
I was ER.
Okay, where do you?
Actually, I'm critical illness recovery hospital. So ICU, step down ICU,
step down step. Okay. Okay. You do it all. Jack of all trades.
Do it all. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we miss anybody else? Nancy.
What do you?
ER.
Oh, ER. Okay, so we're like ER heavy.
But I think we missed one right here.
Internal medicine.
Oh. Like clinic?
No, it's in a hospital.
Okay.
We do like it's like a step down ICU almost.
Awesome. Okay, so we have a little bit of everybody here, I think. I mean, like heavy ER, which is our people, but we love a dabble. Yeah. We love a dabble. So now we're going to take it back to the OG med errors that we did. I have them on my phone because obviously I'm not going to remember all of them. But have you guys ever gone down the Reddit rabbit hole of med errors? Have you guys ever looked at them? Okay. Well.
Have you guys ever made a med error? Raise your hand if you have.
We love your answer. We were going to
call out people who didn't raise their hands, because if you've been a nurse for longer than like couple months, I feel like you've either made a med error, had a near miss, and I feel like it's something that people are like, oh, I can't say it, or I don't want to say it, and it's like, no, we've all done it.
Yeah, I literally bolused an entire unit of blood in 15 seconds when I was like a baby new grad, and the pump went off right afterwards, and I was like, oh, they're occluded, like no big deal. Went in, bag was completely empty, and I about pooped my pants. I was like, I'm getting fired right here on the spot right now, and my preceptor had to like rock me to sleep after that. So we've all been there.
And very similarly, I was a new grad, and I actually gave a patient morphine like all day. Like all day I was giving them morphine, and then I was giving a report to the night shift, and it was paper charting. So I had like the binder, and it said right on the front, like allergies, morphine. And my butt about fell out, and I was like, I've been giving this to them all day. Obviously they were fine.
Q2.
But I had to go to my manager's office. I was crying, like the whole bit. So
we've all been there. I'm glad that you guys can all sympathize with that, because who hasn't, right? Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's hear it.
A nurse had Lasix to give, pulled the nearby insulin bottle, which was left in the patient's room, into the syringe on accident. They pulled up all 300 units and gave IV push, and the patient died.
Yeah. That's terrible. And you know what? I don't know how your guys' hospitals are, but they're on our ass about don't leave the insulin vials out. And it's so annoying because you don't want to pull it out of the Pyxis or the Omnicell, whatever you guys use. But this is why I feel like insulin is a very common medication error. And even though it's supposed to be like dual check, not all hospitals like charting system will hard stop you for that. So I think it's like a quick thing people do. I mean, I would hope that if you're drawing up the entire vial, like something's like, hold on.
But it's not always
the case.
Case in point right there.
Yeah.
But how do you mix up Lasix and insulin? But, we move on.
The bottles are 2 different colors.
They are.
The bottles are 2 different colors.
Well, and hopefully you're pulling the Lasix from the Pyxis before you're giving it. It's not like laying out in the room. Like, why would somebody think that Lasix was like straight up just hanging out in the room, But I digress.
Okay. Patient came in for bradycardia. ED gave them amiodarone and metoprolol while their heart rate was still in the 40s.
This is why you hate us.
They sent them to me, which is the ICU. Patient was at least able to remain conscious with a heart rate of 25 to 35 until we got the dopamine drip started.
So like, what do you think was going through that person's head that they felt like metoprolol was like the right choice with bradycardia?
It's a great question. I will say, and I am not condoning this, but I used to work on like a step down cardiac floor, and those cardiologists, they be wanting you to give the beta blockers. They don't care. Yeah, I'm like, true. Hey, the heart rate's like 35, give it. So it kind of depends where you work, to be honest. I mean, I don't know.
I'd say no. Okay. Coworker of mine brought a bottle. Here we go with insulin. I can't. A coworker of mine brought a bottle of Lantus and a bottle of Protonics into a room. Full bottle of Lantus IV push.
Like, that's insane to me. A full bottle.
Who's drawing up a full bottle of anything?
What's their blood sugar?
Unless it's like Rocephin and we're given that,
What was their blood sugar? That's what I need to know.
This is not. It's straightforward. I don't know. What'd you say?
Does it Protonics come in like...
Yeah, like 10 cc syringe into the
like Protonics. You have to dilute.
Yeah.
Recon.
Most of the time you do have to reconstitute it. That's true. Okay, this one.
We're stressed. We're stressed thinking about it.
We are stressed. I mean? This one's short and sweet, but this one is going to make your butthole pucker.
Yep.
Mannitol into a lumbar drain.
What?
What? Exactly. That is the correct response. What?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so those are just some that we found on Reddit, but we want to know, does anyone...
Wait, I think I had one more. Really
okay, go ahead.
Because I think this one's the best, actually, that there was.
Send it.
This says a nurse pushed cough syrup through the patient's IV.
No.
I think that one's just the best ever, because what are we doing?
The ones that get me are the ones that it's like,
I crushed up their meds and I pushed them through the IV. I pushed
applesauce through their IV. It's like,
seen that.
What?
We've seen that. We've literally, I think that one was a TikTok one that we read.
Yes.
It gets real wild out there. And I really hate to say it because this is like all of us here in the group. Most of them are ER nurses.
You think?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, I like that. That makes me feel better. Because after we started this series on TikTok, I'm not kidding you. I go to work and I'm like, my armpits are sweating every time I'm here because I can't be the girl in the mid-air. You know what I mean? Like now that we started reading these, I'm like, oh my God, is that going to be me?
Well, and it's such a shock factor and everybody's like, couldn't it be me? But then it could.
Yeah, it could.
Like it really could.
Yeah. So on that, are any of you guys comfortable sharing your mid-air?
Or a med-air. It doesn't have to be your own. Like one that you know of, anything like that.
I can tell you another one. There was a PCA. This was at a hospital, maybe ours. And there was a PCA pump that was never hooked up to the patient and had been just rolling all day long. The parameters were changed based on their
On their pain.
And it just cruised under the bed all day. And it was like, what happened here?
That's terrible.
But it went through multiple different shifts. It went to, and wasn't caught.
That's so sad.
I know. So it does happen. So are any of you guys comfortable sharing yours? You don't have to.
Anyone?
They're like, hell no. Okay.
Do you mind? We have a request. Do you mind coming up and talking into this mic?
Julie.
Thank you, Julie.
You got this.
So I was precepting a new person. Sublingual morphine is blue liquid, and she drew it up, and I said, okay, go ahead and give that, and she pushed it through the IV line and then followed up with a really great bolus of fluid, and I was like,
no,
oh my God.
No.
Yeah. And she goes, what should I do? And I'm like, well, do some vital signs.
And how was the patient?
They lived.
Okay. I didn't know if we went like down the hospice journey at that point or like what we were doing.
A little phlebitis. That was it.
Wow.
It's scary. It is scary. But our jobs are kind of scary. I mean, when you think about it, we have so much responsibility as nurses that I don't think people realize that unless you've lived it. Like the amount of stress that you live in a shift is crazy because you're constantly having to think of all of these things. Like are these medications compatible? Does this patient have allergies that I'm not seeing? Like things like that. And it's kind of overwhelming at times. And
totally. And I think we were all taught the right way to do things, right? We all have also probably like lived in a real life situation where it is crazy. Like, I don't know what states everybody works in, but we have ratios. Yeah. We're unionized, but not everybody's like that. And so some states have 5, 6, 7, 8 patients. And I've seen a handful of times, like, the oral syringes for medications. How many times have you seen somebody draw up medicine in a non-oral syringe and give it, like orally? Yeah. Which doesn't sound like that big of a deal. People do it if they need like a bigger dose, whatever. But that is a very quick way to accidentally have a syringe that goes into a luer lock for an IV and accidentally give it. So there's so many opportunities for errors to happen.
Yeah. But I think it's a system-wide thing too, because nurses are kind of like the at-fault people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
we're the last line.
Right. But nobody ever thinks about the fact that the doctor had to put in the order. The pharmacist needed to double check it. Somebody sometimes needed to walk it down to the ED, depending on your department. There's so many different avenues that it goes through. I will never forget. There was a patient that came in that ended up needing to be criked at an emergency room that I worked at years and years ago because they had such severe angioedema from a lisinopril allergy. This lisinopril allergy was marked in red all over their chart when we got them into the resus bay to crike them. And not only had that been there, we had looked back at like when the allergy had been put in years. The doctor prescribed it upon their discharge the night before. And they came back in with the angioedema was unreal. They got criked, obviously went to the ICU, all of this stuff. But it's like that doctor prescribed it and it was literally right there in red on their chart. Pharmacy filled it and allowed the patient to pick it up. But then I feel like at the same time, we're left with the stress of it being the nurses and kind of always the fallback person. So it's hard when you have you hear all these med-ers and you're like, holy shit, like that's a crazy thing. But at the same time, nurses are always under so much stress at the hospital that it's like, okay, well, some of them make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe not applesauce through the IV, but like some of them make sense. You know what I mean?
Have you guys ever heard of like the Swiss cheese effect? So like Swiss cheese has holes. And so it has to fall through all of these holes to get to like, it's a system problem essentially. And like going back to my med-air, my very first med-air, I should say, of the morphine, it was paper charting. So back then, has anyone paper charted before? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have to like get the physical order. You have to fax it to pharmacy. They have to like stamp it and fax it back. And then they load it in the Pyxis and then you go and pull it. So like that was happening all day in my situation. And I'm not like shift blaming here, but that is a system problem, right? So if it happened to me, it's going to happen again at some point unless like something gets changed.
I am curious to know, since you guys are kind of like from all over the country, essentially, what are your ratios? Like for ICU, what state are you from?
I'm in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Indianapolis. Okay.
What's your ratio for ICU patients? Okay.
2 to 1.
Okay, so that's the same
standard.
as ours. We're from California. That's the same. What about for you?
Typically 4 to 1, but there's 2 sections in our ER that have, one's 5 to 1, and that's our like emergency psych area.
You have psychs that are 5 to 1?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What if they go into restraints? What if you have to B52 this person?
Well, it's still the same because we have a tech, a nurse, and then there's a security guard that's sitting there at all time.
So your nurse is 1 to 1 if they're in restraints?
No. Crazy, right?
Crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay, who else's ratios? Where are you from?
We worked at a hospital in the ER. They had a 6-bed block psych unit, and it was 1 to.
Was it like a crisis unit?
No.
I mean, we'd have anything from like just drunks, suicidal,
Like MTFs in there.
But it's like one nurse, whether they're restrained, B52'd, anything. There's somebody on campus.
1 nurse to all 4?
All 6.
6?
All 6.
Wait, and
hell
that
no.
nurse with all these 6 patients is locked in there with maybe just 1 tech.
1 tech, 1 person on cameras that
So
watches.
they all have cameras. So
and
so
then
we
a
can see
security
them.
officer comes and goes.
Wow.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Anybody else? What are your ratios, Kay?
I'm from Canada, so like from Montreal and Quebec.
Canada.
Oh, wow.
And on the night shift, we're 8 to 1.
It changes on night
8
shift.
to
day
1?
shift?
Yeah, during the day we're 4 to 1, but on night shift we're...
What happens on night shift that it changes so differently? I've worked nights, let me tell you.
Night shift is worse, I think.
Are you do you get a bigger differential on nights? This is wild. Okay, you have
That's
to move immediately.
Are you guys in a union?
We are.
That's bad.
What?
Go back. Go back to the table.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, things aren't so bad where we're at. I shouldn't complain
8
anymore.
to 1, no.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, this is exactly why this kind of stuff
Mistakes
happens. You know
happen.
what I mean?
Mistakes
this
happen.
is exactly why. But go ahead.
There are a lot of things that I would do. I would not take 8 patients. You could never make me.
Okay, so are you saying there's things you would rather do?
A lot of things I would rather do.
Okay, I have a would you rather. I pulled one up last night.
All right.
Okay, so this is another thing we also did on TikTok when we started is we would always do would you rathers, but I want you guys to tell me your guys' opinions on them
You guys,
too, okay?
does anyone else play would you rather at work? Nurses like at the nurse station, like yeah.
This
I
is
think
what we
I think
do.
we all do.
You should see your videos on the.
Because they're fun. Okay, sometimes we do would you rathers. Sometimes we might do like a how much money for? You know what I mean? Like kind of a thing. But this is just like
We
what
don't
you
do
at
those
work
online.
when
We don't
you're in
do
the
those online.
trenches. Nobody else understands it. Sometimes I try and tell my husband like a would you rather and he's like I can't look at you the same when you say that to me because he's not medical and he's appalled. Okay, you ready? Okay. Would you rather accidentally step barefoot on a used needle or lick a hospital floor for 5 seconds?
Oh.
Lick
the floor?
You're going to let a needle just go right in your foot?
Is it a dirty needle?
We don't know.
She did used.
Used.
I gotta lick the floor. That's disgusting.
5 whole seconds. Enjoy.
Mm-mm.
There's another one on here too. You want to do it? There's a couple you can choose from on there. They're good. They're really good ones.
Would you rather have to drain a giant pus-filled abscess? I actually love.
I do too.
I love
was
that
gonna say,
actually.
sign me up.
Or
How bad does it smell though? Because I might need to get a double mask with a little toothpaste.
well,
know?
you can do that. You can do that.
I'm in. Don't even say the other.
Have a diarrhea spray you in the face. I mean, that's a given. Is anyone choosing the diarrhea? Okay.
We would never.
I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes, like when I can't fall asleep at night, I'll watch like pimple popping videos.
Oh, they're the best. They're
or
the
like
best.
like abscess.
Yeah.
Like anything like that.
I love a good abscess. There's nothing that makes me happier. And if you would have asked me about that before school, I would have said absolutely not. But if like a really good one comes in, we have like a area that we can work in where, you know, it's like people get in and out like
fast track.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes the docs like don't want to take certain patients. They're like, oh, I've seen this patient before. I know that their abscesses are bad. They're like chronic. I'm like, please. Let's just take it. I'll do everything that I can in my
I have begged
a
doctor to let me like squeeze it out. I'm like, can I just please get it out?
It's disgusting, but it's great. This is
so
why,
good.
This is why my husband can't understand what we do at all, ever. Okay. Do you guys have any would you rathers? I know we're putting you right on the spot.
Okay, let's hear it.
Would you rather have a alcohol withdrawal that hasn't drank in 24 hours?
Nope.
In full restraints, having hallucination,
Oh God.
or have a psych patient with C. diff who is refusing to stay in the room?
Okay,
Girl,
so this
did
is.
you think about this before you came?
I've slightly had both of these.
So hold on. We have a. Let's just break this down. We have a alcohol withdrawal.
I don't like an alcohol
4-point
withdrawal.
restraint, hallucinating,
We're about to seize.
and then we have a psych patient. No, a psych patient.
Yeah, with C.
with
diff.
C. diff who won't stay in the room.
I'm taking the C. diff.
I'm taking the C. diff.
Mm-hmm. What about you guys?
You can be 52.
You can be, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You can, but
Yeah, but what if they have varices?
that's true.
What if you get varices? What if you get like
I think that's
status
another
epilepticus?
thing too. I didn't realize what? I didn't realize there are certain things in like the nursing world that I'm sure nobody realized until you got into it. But let me just tell you, alcohol withdrawal, farmers, Amish, and an imminent delivery. If any of those check into triage at any time, I'm hitting the road with that person in the wheelchair to wherever we got to go that gets me away from them.
Yeah.
Because they scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
If a farmer walks
make
into
you nervous.
triage, I'm like, this is a problem. You're dying.
An
You're actually
alcoholic, a daily drinker who has not had a drink in like 3 days,
Scary.
their blood alcohol is 0. Those scare me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. A farmer scares
Ticking
me 'cause
time
they
bomb.
never come. Same with the Amish. And then I hate a delivery. Hate it. I don't know if this is...
I think that's an ER nurse thing.
Okay. Is it?
I don't mind it.
Really?
I actually work at a critical access right now where you have to call everybody in. And so we had a mom come in like ready to deliver.
Yeah.
And within like 19 minutes of letting her in the door, she had delivered and the doctor wasn't even in the hospital yet.
In the hospital.
Yeah,
Not
so I
around.
work in a critical access right now. So
you're a rodeo.
Everybody gets called in, lab, anesthesia, doctors, everybody. So this lady came in like ready.
Oh my gosh, no.
It's actually one of my worst nightmares.
Are you a
on there.
traveler?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you work at? I mean, like, don't say the hospital, but like what?
Like what state?
Small place in South Dakota.
Oh.
You're like true critical access.
Got right off the reservations right on the
Oh,
interstate.
wow.
Okay, but reservations are also, they don't normally come to the hospital either unless they do.
Oh, do they?
Okay, she's calling it out. I love this. Okay, great. I'm going to change my tune there. I thought that it, like, off the reservation, we're not coming in. Okay, great. I love that. Anybody else? Yeah.
Yeah, so I work in a level 1 trauma center. So when we have women coming in with EMS and they're leveling it, there is nothing that scares us absolute more than that.
Yeah.
But we usually have the labor and delivery team that are supposed to come down with the trauma team.
So they should be there before the patient gets there.
Should be,
Right.
technically.
That's the thing.
And when they do come down, they're like, move. Like they hate when we're there. We're like, ugh.
They do. There's nothing that an L&D nurse hates more than an ER nurse. I feel like they think that we're stupid. And honestly,
they're not wrong, honestly.
I am. When it comes to that, I've had 2 children and even still, I'm like, my armpits are sweating. I'm out. I have to go. I don't want to take care of any of this. I'm running for the hills. But it is funny because there are certain people in your department that you learn to find. I feel like you find those people that you're like, you like a delivery, I'm calling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never voceraed people quicker than the ones that I know enjoy it. And I'm like, hey, there's an imminent delivery. I'm going to need you to take it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
stepping a foot in that room.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we're all here is actually NurseCon. But I think that that's because nurses deal with probably one of the highest levels of burnout, I think, than any other careers. I mean, as far as like, there's first responders that do. Carly's husband's a firefighter. He gets burnout like that. Police officers, all of that stuff. But nurses like feel it. And if you guys were nurses during COVID, I think that you guys felt it even more.
How many of you guys here have been to NurseCon before?
Oh, wow.
Okay. So has everyone else,
This is your guys'
their first time, first cruise? First cruise, me too.
Okay, great.
Okay, so a sidebar that I learned very quickly. Night 1 of this cruise, I was trying to stay ahead of the game and I took a laxative. Okay.
No.
We get a little bit of constipated on vacations. You know what I mean?
Is this TMI? I mean, we're all nurses. There's no TMI.
Yeah. Also, if you ever listen to our podcast again,
it was touch and go.
TMI.
It was touch and go all night 1 for me, you guys. At one point, like I was like laying on the floor. She thought we were gonna get life flighted like off the ship.
I was very delirious. We took a red eye to get here, and so I just like heard this like slow moaning, and I was like, "What are we doing?" Like I don't know. I don't think she sleep talks. Like I'm not sure what's happening. Pull over. She's gone, and the toilet just keeps flushing over and over again.
Yeah.
She finally comes out, and I'm like, "We good?" Like,
no, we're not. We're not good
in there. And she's like, I am pretty sure I'm struggling for my life right now.
Well, then I freaked out because I drank water, I drank the water from the filler thing. And I was like, this is it. Like, I'm done. I'm done for the rest of the trip. Anyways, it was fine. It was just laxative. We're good. We're up the next day. But note to self, like, don't do that. And then they shut the toilets off. Did you guys know that yesterday? And I was like, oh my gosh, what if that would have happened the night before? Anyways, don't take a laxative. So like, unless you absolutely need it.
First time cruise things. That's number 1. But do you come to NurseCon because you find that it's an easy way to interact with people that are like-minded and that understand everything you guys have been through? So that keeps you guys coming back. I think that's the big thing. And I think that that's what we're finding here is it's not every day, even every month, that you can walk into a crowd of 3,000 people that understand exactly what you go through every day. And there's something like really kind of cool about that.
And we all come from different states, like different years of experience, different departments. And I think the cool thing is you come to this event, which is like the largest nursing conference event that there is. And you show up and no matter who you're surrounded by, like there's this like unspoken respect for each other and like this like camaraderie and support. And like Caitlin was saying, if you've worked any length of time, especially if you worked through COVID, I think we've all experienced our own version of burnout, or maybe people are in that right now. And coming to something like this to kind of just like fulfill yourself, meet new people, step away from your nurse life, your home life, whatever else you have going on is such a unique experience. And this is my first time, and it's like unlike anything else. It's been so cool just like meeting people and getting to spend time with people. Like we came together. We didn't come with other people. We do have other people from our hospital here. But I think it's so important because we all hope to have long careers and we are in a field that is very rewarding, but it's hard as hell.
Yeah.
And I think continuing to do things like this for yourself and for our jobs is going to like give you longevity.
It's hard. I think that there's not a lot of people that understand sitting in your driveway after a shift.
Eating Taco Bell.
In silence. In silence. I'm not kidding you. My husband and my kids will like look through the curtains. And I know my husband's just like, you gotta just give mom a few minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
you know that feeling when you need to like dissociate after work and you're just like, ugh. Yeah.
So I think it's good that there's things like this. And honestly, before this, I had heard of NurseCon like a little bit, but never had I ever thought about going. And now that we've met so many cool people from so many different avenues. But it's like that unspoken thing where you can look at somebody and be like, I get you. But you don't even have to talk to them really. You're just there with them because they get it.
And nurses are wild, man. Like,
oh my God, the people watching has been elite.
No, nurses know how to let loose. Yeah. That's the thing is nurses when you walk into a room, there's no one else I'd want by my side in like a life or death situation. But when that nurse lets loose.
Okay, our holiday parties at work. Do you guys have holiday parties at work? You guys are, our coworkers are laughing because it is
wild. My husband has like met coworkers and like at one point been like,
is he good?
This is the group of people who like collectively saves lives. I'm like these are them, babe.
At the first holiday party my husband went to, he was immediately thrown up on by one of my favorite ER techs ever in the whole wide world. And he was like, I'm not sure what to say right now at all, but also like I feel bad because I feel like he doesn't get to do this often, so I feel like I should help him out. So he spent the whole time helping this guy out, like doing all this stuff, but he was like, I can't believe that you guys collectively get together and are able to function and save a human. And I'm like, yeah, we're just like disassociating right now.
Honey, this is trauma bonding at its finest.
This is the only time we have out of the hospital where we can just like let loose. But damn, we've seen it around here too. And I'm like, you go. Watching people walk back to their rooms and stuff like after the fun nights. I'm like, I love this for you. You needed that. You know what I mean? You needed that.
Totally.
So it's been really fun. But we're really glad that you guys came. We were able to show you guys a little part of our lives and what we do. We really enjoy this side of our lives. Carly and I are both moms. So at the end of the day, we go to the ER. She goes to retirement in PACU. But she still, let me tell you this.
If anyone's interested in PACU, just make the jump.
Talk to her.
Make the jump.
No, she still does loops in the ER. Like, don't let she still.
I do drive-bys. I'll come drive by.
You can hear the traumas going off and she's like, what's going on down there? So it never goes away. But it's allowed us to have a little bit of like a side of our lives that doesn't feel so serious and doesn't feel so burnt out, and also is like very relatable. When we read these med errors or when we do the would you rathers, it like makes it fun games. And like you said, that's exactly what we want, is like for other nurses to go to work and be like, let me tell you this would you rather.
Yeah.
Because it like boosts the morale just a little bit, as weird as it sounds, to have some sort of like camaraderie, even if it's absolutely disgusting and unhinged. But you're like, okay, yeah, let's start the shift after that, you know? So it's been really fun.
We also have just started our podcast, like we said. We actually released episode 8 today. It's on YouTube and Spotify if you want to go listen and watch it. It's about nurse stereotypes. It's really funny. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of like a new journey for us. So this, like, going back to the beginning, we actually went to film a TikTok, and we were like trying to find like a quiet corner on the ship where like nobody would see us. Turns out we decided to film it in front of this window that we couldn't see in, but it was like the social media team's window, and they like popped out and they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? Anyways, we started chatting with them, and that's when this came up. They literally asked us yesterday, hey, do you guys want to film, like do a live podcast? So this is so new. Like when I tell you I have a 2.5-year-old and an 8-month-old at home, like this is crazy to me. This is absolutely crazy. I started social media a 1.5 years ago. We started this podcast. Like this has been so fun. Just mostly, I think, getting to relate to other people, like getting to relate to other nurses. I still feel like I'm a new nurse sometimes. Like I've been a nurse for 15 years, but it doesn't feel like that. So I think one thing I really also enjoy is like the new grad nurses, or the baby nurses, as you called it. Because I remember being at that point and being like, when am I going to feel like I know anything? And I remember at like year 2 to 3, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm like getting into a groove, but just a place where I'm like, yeah, this is real and this is normal. Like I've messed up, or these are our stories, or, you know, whatever it is.
We feel like nursing should always be a place where people can be very vulnerable and be honest about the things, but sometimes it doesn't always feel like that. I feel like sometimes you have to like, you feel embarrassed for the things that you do, or you feel vulnerable talking to people about like mistakes that you've made. But at the end of the day, all of us have done it, like we've talked about. And so our podcast is literally just that. It's literally us being as real and raw, because I think everybody needs that in every line of work that they're in, like a safe place to go to where people are just like, oh, they get it. You know, like I've been a nurse for 13 years, which isn't technically a baby nurse anymore, even though we got some OGs at my work that I'm like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get there? I don't know. But I still feel new when I go to work. I still sometimes get pre-shift anxiety. I still sometimes feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And there's still patients that come in where I'm like, what do we do? You know, like what do we do here? I'm lost. And so I think it's important for everybody to get it. No matter how long you've been a nurse, there's always going to be this time where you feel kind of insecure about your job. But I think it's also because we do such a big job.
Yeah. And I do think that when I was a new nurse, that there was very much this like culture of like nurses eat their young. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. I know that that's still out there. And I feel like, I hope we're moving away from that. I don't know if that's everybody's experience, but also we wanted to have a place where people could like listen and just have a break and like relate and laugh. And it doesn't matter how many years you've been a nurse, or what you don't know, or what you haven't seen, or what department you have or haven't worked in. Like it's a place that everybody can come and enjoy. So that's what we are. That's who we are.
Yeah. And we really appreciate you guys coming. We're going to open it up for questions if you guys have any. If not, totally fine.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're going to be here full time, and we're just excited that you
and
guys
we're so happy you guys came.
Yeah, we literally thought there was going to be 0 people.
Does anybody have questions or comments or stories or anything that they want to share?
Yeah.
So we were talking about the burnout earlier, and just as like a little bit of a different perspective from a newbie, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been a nurse?
A little bit over 2 years.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm out of the new grad phase, but I just like, as somebody who isn't quite like burnout, like I feel like I haven't been in it long enough to be like, well, burnout. But also as one of the newbies who's been precepted not too recently ago, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we get you.
There's like a lot of guilt that comes with that, because I know that the preceptors are so burnt out after COVID, because that's all they do now, because there's constantly new hires coming in and new grads, and you know, now we're throwing new grads into specialties that would have never had new grads before COVID, because we had so many nurses leave the field. And so there's like this sense of guilt of like, I feel so bad that like you're just like zoning out. You're just doing your job. You don't seem like you love it anymore. And like, you're doing your very, very best. And I'm trying not to put too much stress on you as a new learner, and trying to make, you know, trying not to make mistakes, but when you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. So like, I feel like both ends of those spectrums, you know, and it's just, everybody has it's just like the struggle's real.
Yeah.
I think that those nurses though, that are precepting, that are so burnt out, I think that's on them. I think it's time for them to maybe take a step back, and it's not you at all.
It is okay also. You're not being precepted anymore. Is that what you're saying? No. It's also okay, like if you were in a position where you were being precepted, like to ask for somebody else.
Yep.
And I think that people like think that that's offensive, or like that's going to cause, it doesn't matter. Like you're right. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them if that's like your partnership. Yes, burnout is real. There are nurses that have been in this field a very long time, like way longer than us. There are people who just want to show up, clock in, clock out, and get their paycheck. That's fine. But then they shouldn't be precepting.
Yep.
Because we need to also like teach each other. And if you are new, you need to ask questions. You need to learn how to do things. You need to be supported. And some people, unfortunately, I think want to fall into the preceptor role because they look at it as like, oh, I can take a step back a little bit, or like, then it's less patient care for me, or whatever the reasons are.
They also might make a little bit more money. I mean, I'm just going to say it how it is. They might,
but it's
so they stay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also it's your license, it's your experience, it's your career. So like, it's unfortunate, but I know that some people have had terrible preceptors.
So don't feel bad.
And it's them, not you. So now that you're no longer being precepted, I work with nurses that I just know when I go to work, like I can be cordial and get along with, but like they're not going to be people that like I can expect to help me or to go to. But I ask questions. Like I've only been in the PACU for 2 years. I came from ER. So it's a very different world. There's a ton of things I don't know. There's a lot of surgeries, there's equipment, there's things that I'm learning for the first time. I ask so many questions, and like I just know who I'm like not going to go ask questions to, because they're not going to help me, you know?
I don't ever want like a new grad nurse to feel bad for their preceptor if their preceptor's burnt out, because then they just shouldn't be precepting anymore. And that's okay. It's not a dig on them at all. It's just maybe they've moved on from that phase of life, or maybe they just need a little bit of a break.
After COVID, unfortunately, there was such a mass exodus from the field that those that have stayed, that's all they have in some departments.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. They're the senior nurses, and they themselves are. I mean, we got preceptees that just got off. I want to say in my department, like not even a year or two ago, and they're precepting now because that's how. That's really where we're at.
Yeah.
You have new grads teaching new grads.
Yeah. Right. 100%.
You don't have that many senior, and then you have the seasoned nurses, as we like to call them in my department, are your charge, are your resource, and are being pulled in 50,000 directions. So I feel bad for especially for the new grads that, as being in this position and try to, but I agree, there are some that unfortunately it's time to go, but you're stuck in a place where some have maxed out in their department.
Yeah.
And then they're like, where do I go? And where else is going to pay them, where I'm kind of stuck.
Totally.
I think that we can all agree, like COVID changed healthcare.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was in the emergency room through COVID. And I don't know what happened. I know what happened, but I don't know what happened with the system, like even the flow, all primary care, they all shut down, right? So if everything was being filtered through the ER, we were being so impacted, not just with sick patients, but with patients who haven't been to see their like doctors, anyone forever. And then it kind of like changed in this weird thing, like the aftermath of COVID, at least what I saw was like, they were so either backed up that they weren't able to see their patients, or I think it was like, unfortunately, like a money thing where they're like, oh, well, we like got by without this, so now we're going to like massively cut whatever the reasons. It changed the way the ER runs. It changed the flow of the ER. It changed how the ER sees patients. And I don't know that it's ever going to like go back to how it was. Like aside from COVID, I just don't think it's going to go back. And that was a huge reason I got burnt out. It actually wasn't COVID itself. It was like the aftermath of COVID. And then I got pregnant and I was like, I was a miserable person talking about like being burnt out. I was jaded. In our hospital, I would sit in the role of like what you would consider charge sometimes. And when I would get off of that shift, like it's like my jaw had been clenched for 12 hours. Like my heart was racing. I had like my adrenaline, like I would come home, my husband's like, you're not nice. Like I was just not happy. I was not happy. And that wasn't fair to my patients. That wasn't fair to like my husband, my kids at home. And that's why I left. I do still feel like I'm an ER nurse through and through. It's like part of who I am.
Does it ever go away?
But right now, that's like not who I can be. And unfortunately, I think some people, it's all they know. Like they have whatever reasons to stay in it. But there are people that it's like, it is time. You're not happy. Like it's clear you're not happy, you know?
It's hard. It's hard as a newer nurse too. And a nurse too that's probably still excited about being there. You're like newer from school and like have all these hopes and dreams. I remember all of
as
it.
You
I
should
was,
be,
so
as
excited.
You should be.
Yeah, and then you get one nurse, and it's like, wah, wah, wah. You know, like you go home and you're like, am I doing this? Should I be doing this? So it is hard, but it's not you. Don't feel guilty for that. Anybody else?
Questions or comments?
We really appreciate you guys coming and being a part of this. This will be live on
it's not live streamed.
No.
But this will be sent to our editor and then this will be uploaded as an episode. So
yeah, so we thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you guys.
Fun time on the rest of NurseCon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys around.
Yeah.
Thank you.